Deserts of Makkah at dawn, awaken at dawn. The first rays of sunlight brush across golden dunes. The fire of idol worship flickers around the Kaaba, surrounded by stone idols and people lost in rituals that no longer hold meaning. The city of Makkah, a desert oasis bustling with traders, pilgrims, and tribes, surrounded by idolatry, injustice, and selfishness. A city alive with noise, yet lost in spiritual darkness. But in this same city, on the 12th of Rabiul Awal, 570 AD, during the year known as the Year of the Elephant, something extraordinary happened. And far away in the lands of Persia, the great fires that had burned for centuries, flames worshipped by kings, suddenly extinguished on their own. The ancient palace of Kisra trembled and cracked, and the deities inside the Kaaba fell into the ground. The world itself seemed to shudder, as if recognizing that something momentous had occurred. For on that blessed night in Makkah, a child was born, one whose light would dispel the world's darkness and illuminate the path of humanity for all time. The name given to him by his grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, was Muhammad, peace be upon him, the praiseworthy. Born in 570 CE, Muhammad entered a world already marked by miracles. That same year, Allah protected his sacred house from Abraham's mighty army, the skies filled with birds pelting stones upon elephants, a divine sign that the Kaaba and the child born that year were under the protection of the Almighty. Muhammad, PBUH's father, Abdullah, had passed before his birth. Following the noble custom of the Arabs, his mother, Hazrat Amina, sent him to the open desert, to be nursed and raised among the Banu Sa'd, a tribe known for its pure language and strong character. His nurse was Halima al-Sa'diyah, who would soon witness blessings beyond imagination. From the moment she took him in her arms, her fortunes changed. The milk that had dried returned, her animals grew strong, and her land flourished. The young Muhammad, peace be upon him, brought barakah, divine blessing, wherever he went. At the age of 2, when he was weaned, Halima brought him back to his mother, Hazrat Amina. Out of her deep love for the child, Halima requested to keep him for a longer period. Hazrat Amina agreed, wishing to protect her beloved son from the plague that had spread in Makkah. So Muhammad, peace be upon him, returned with Halima to continue growing under her care. During his stay, a miraculous event occurred. The opening of his blessed chest by angels. They cleansed his heart, removing a black clot symbolizing evil, and filled it with faith and light. This event left a lasting mark, both physically and spiritually, on the young Muhammad, peace be upon him. For 6 years he lived in the open desert skies, breathing fresh air, growing in strength and purity. During the 6 years that he spent with the Banu Sa'ad family of the Hawazin tribe, Muhammad, peace be upon him, became the most eloquent in Arabic language. There he learned patience, humility, and reflection, traits that would define his prophethood. When Muhammad, peace be upon him, turned 6, he returned to his mother Amina. Hazrat Amina decided to visit Yathrib, the resting place of her husband Abdullah and the home of her relatives. She took with her her beloved son and their faithful servant Ayman. After their visit, on the journey back toward Makkah, tragedy struck. Amina fell ill at a place called Abwa, halfway between Makkah and Medina. There, surrounded by silence and sand, she returned to her Lord. His earthly life began in loss. And this was just the beginning of Muhammad, peace be upon him, his worldly challenges. The 6-year-old boy stood beside her grave, his heart heavy with loss, yet his face serene. Ayman, the loyal servant, took his small hand and brought him safely back to Makkah. Muhammad, peace be upon him, was now an orphan. But these were not mere tragedies. They were divine preparations. Through loss, he learned endurance. Through pain, he discovered empathy. Allah was shaping a heart that would carry the weight of mercy for all mankind. Upon returning, he was taken into the care of his grandfather, Abdul Muttalib, the noble leader of Quraysh. The old man cherished him deeply. He could see signs of greatness in the child's eyes. Abdul Muttalib would never let him out of sight. He would keep the young Muhammad, peace be upon him, close, even allowing him to sit beside him in the gatherings of the Quraysh chieftains, a place reserved only for elders and leaders. When some people expressed surprise or complaint at this, Abdul Muttalib would smile and say, "Leave him be. A great future is in store for my son." His affection and respect for the young boy were unmatched, for he sensed that this child was destined for an extraordinary mission. But only 2 years later, Abdul Muttalib passed away, and Muhammad, peace be upon him, came under the guardianship of his uncle Abu Talib, who would protect him with love for the rest of his life. When he was about 12, Muhammad, peace be upon him, joined his uncle Abu Talib on a trading journey to Syria. In the town of Busra, a Christian monk named Bahira saw them passing. He noticed a small cloud that shaded the young boy wherever he walked, a sign of divine protection. As the caravan rested near a tree, Bahira observed another wondrous sight. The branches of the tree bent low, as if bowing in reverence and offering shade to the young Muhammad, peace be upon him. Recognizing the marks of prophethood upon finding Muhammad, peace be upon him, seal of prophethood, Bahira warned Abu Talib to guard his nephew well, for this child was destined for greatness. Abu Talib, concerned for his safety, brought him back to Makkah, safe and sound, and went back to rejoin the caravan. As Muhammad, peace be upon him, entered his teenage years, Arabia was shaken by the War of Fijar, a conflict between the Quraysh and other tribes, breaking the sacred peace of the holy months. Though still a youth, he accompanied his uncles to the battlefield. He did not fight but helped by collecting arrows and assisting his family, observing the cruelty and futility of tribal wars. Moments that imprinted on his soul the value of peace, justice, and restraint, virtues that would later define his prophethood. In his youth, after witnessing the brutality of the War of Fijar, Muhammad, peace be upon him, became part of an event that reflected his deep sense of justice. The Hilf al-Fudul, the Alliance of the Virtuous. This pact was formed in Makkah when several noble clans gathered in the house of Abdullah bin Judan to stand against oppression and protect the weak, ensuring that no injustice went unanswered. The young Muhammad, peace be upon him, was present at this occasion and also took the oath. He later said of it, "I was present in the house of Abdullah bin Judan at such an excellent a pact that I would not exchange my part in it for a herd of red camels, and if now in Islam I was summoned unto it, I would gladly respond." This remarkable alliance left a lasting impression on him, a commitment to justice, equality, and compassion that would later become pillars of his prophethood. As Muhammad, peace be upon him, grew, Makkah grew with him, a city of merchants and travelers, a hub of trade and temptation. In a place where dishonesty was common, where promises meant little, one young man's truth would shine brighter than the desert sun. He was known as Al-Amin, the trustworthy, and As-Sadiq, the truthful. He spoke the truth even when it brought no benefit. When he spoke, people listened. When he promised, he fulfilled. His word was a bond stronger than any written agreement. Traders placed their wealth in his hands, confident he would never betray them. The poor came to him for advice. The elders sought his judgment. In a society filled with deception, he was a pillar of integrity, a mirror of what humanity could be at its best. Then came a day that tested Makkah's unity and revealed the depth of his wisdom. The tribes of Quraysh had decided to rebuild the Kaaba, the sacred house of Allah. But when the time came to place the black stone, Hajar al-Aswad, back into its corner, a fierce argument erupted. Each tribe claimed the honor for itself. Voices rose. Hands reached for swords. Blood was about to be shed at the very walls of the house of Allah, until one elder proposed, "Let the next man who enters the mosque judge between us." And by Allah's will, the next man to enter was Muhammad, peace be upon him, Al-Amin, As-Sadiq. The tribes rejoiced. "We accept him, for he is the trustworthy." Then with wisdom and humility, he asked for a simple cloth. He placed the black stone upon it and asked each tribal leader to hold a corner. Together they lifted it to its place, and he himself set it into the wall. A moment of division became a moment of unity. His truthfulness had not only saved bloodshed, it had earned him the respect of all Makkah.